All right, we are live. Happy Winning Wednesday. It's Sonia and
Jeannie, hi.
hello, everybody. We are super excited. I feel like weeks just fly by. I mean, don't you, Jeannie? Like, it's just,
I do.
how
Yeah,
did
it's like it was
how
the
did we get
holidays.
here? How did we get here? Like, I feel like we were just sitting in front of this screen talking about part one of what we're going to talk about today, and that is really focusing on how to win as a woman over the age of 40. And we're going to break this down into a couple different weeks because it's like a really big conversation. Such a
Mhm.
big conversation. I decided to write a book about it. So, how's that for a big conversation, right?
I
And so, if
know.
you guys are tuning in live, let us know where you are watching from. We are live on a lot of different places. So, if you would drop in the comments where you're watching from and what time, just so we can say hello and kind of get an idea where our audience is watching from. And if you're going to catch this on the replay, let us know that you're a replayer as well too. So Jeannie, how is your Winning Wednesday going?
It is going well. I'm trying to share our live over to um, another profile, but I can't. So it's okay. Just roll with
Okay.
it.
Yeah, so technology is not our friend today. Well,
Yeah.
at least the camera's rolling here in the main place. So let's
Mhm.
roll into this topic because I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a good one. So just for those of you that missed our topic last week, we talked about a lot of the things that change when you become a woman over the age of 40, like all the things, right? And anything and everything from your kids growing up to your having a hard time losing weight to your hormones changing to your
Mhm.
skin maybe not looking as good. I mean, just the whole gamut of things that change. And so today, really, what we want to bring home are some of the health solutions that have personally helped us as two women over 40 feel like we're actually thriving in life. So, Jeannie, I know you have had a huge transformation. And
Yeah.
one of the things that we talked about last week was just the tough times that women over 40 have losing weight. So, before you share your very inspiring story, I would love to know, ladies, if you are watching in the comments, have you been on the struggle bus with losing weight? And are you over the age of 40? I would love to know because I personally feel like when I was in my 20s and 30s, if I set out to lose 10, 15 pounds, I just went to the gym, I drank more water, and I tightened up my diet a little bit. Voila, it came off, right? It doesn't work like that anymore. So let's get into it. Let's talk about everyone's favorite thing to discuss. Why is the scale not moving? Tell us about what's happening and what kind of experience you've had with your weight loss transformation.
Yeah, so I actually, yeah, let me share. So when I was 49 years old, I started to pack on the pounds, and I had never been overweight. I like my entire life, from the time I was a kid through adulthood, always very thin, and in great shape. I went to CrossFit and everything else. And when I was 49, all of a sudden I had this body fat just started to accumulate around my belly. And it didn't matter what I did. I did intermittent fasting. I reduced the sugars, got rid of the bread for some time, like everything and anything I was willing to try. And it wasn't working.
Mm.
And then I had, through research and, Sonia was trying the collagen she was using. And so I decided I was going to try the fat loss product. And here, I'm a health professional. Generally, I'm very skeptical. And I did not really believe in using supplements for weight loss. Like, I was like, are you kidding me? And so I decided to give it a try, just keep an open mind, try it, see what happens. And I was really, really surprised with the results. Within 4 months, I actually lost 35 pounds. Now, I do want to mention this is with a lifestyle change. So it wasn't just, I was taking the product and magically the weight came off, but it did help to get that metabolism moving in the right direction and, increasing my metabolism, getting my fat cells, smaller, all the things, and then with the eating habit changes and the exercise that I was doing, it really helped to bring down that weight. And so, yeah, I was able to shed 35 pounds and maintain it. which I'm very happy about. And currently, well, I don't know if you want me to mention, but I'm, trying to lose the last few pounds here.
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second, but I want to like dial this in for a second because one of the things that we talked about last week is how when you're a woman in your 40s or older, right, you can translate to whatever age you are, your hormones are doing a lot of changing. And so one of the products I know, and this is probably, from a dietitian standpoint, I understand obviously all of the food, all that stuff has to be foundational, but you were doing that stuff. And so the things that you added are products that help to normalize some of your hormones, normalize your blood sugar a little bit better, also address leptin levels, insulin resistance, those sorts of things. And so when we get the hormones under better control, obviously it's easier to lose the weight. So not quite as easy as when you were in your 20s, but as I always tell my clients, sometimes you need a little help from your friends, right? And
Yes.
those are our friends, right? Okay, so you lost the 35 pounds, but then let's fast forward. So that you've kept that off, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But I know, the other thing we talked about, and this is a good way to segue this conversation, is that one of the things that happens a lot of times, especially in this toxic world we're living in today, is we can tend to be a little bit more inflamed the older we get. And so I know you're doing a metabolic reset right now, and I'm going to be doing mine hopefully next week. I'm waiting for my products to arrive. And talk a little bit about what that is supposed to do.
Yeah. So this is the way I approach it now. And I'm sure a lot of women over 40, they look at it's more about their health, overall health. And that's the way I approached it. Like the benefits is yes, getting the weight off, but I love that it's getting rid of that digestive bulk, which I'm definitely, yesterday I started and I'm feeling it, like I've got my digestive system moving. The other thing is the inflammation in the body, reduces the inflammation, excess water, that causes all that bloating. And then of course, body fat. So it really, what I love about it is that it's very simple. Anybody can do it. And it does not deprive you of food. Like you are eating nutritious food throughout the day, and it's timed. It's timed eating. So okay, this is what I need to drink next. This is what I need to eat next. And so on. And it's very well planned and put together. And there's a science behind it to really help you with those 4 things. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I feel great today. I have a lot of energy. And I would say the side effects of it is having glowing skin, more energy, and of course, reduced body fat and just feeling lighter.
Those sound like pretty awesome side effects.
Yes.
Can I have some of those?
I know, right?
I love it. And so, I think regardless of, what your dietary practices are, I think, using the art of fasting, which there is a component of fasting in this plan as well, but, really targeting being healthy versus just getting the scale to move. But when you remove inflammation, you balance your hormones again, things happen, like you sleep better, your stress levels go down, and that roller coaster that you're on in your 40s tends to like flatten out a little bit, which is super cool. And what I love about the program that you're doing is that it's not drastic, like doing, a 3 or 5 day water fast. It's not even as hard as programs like Prolon. Like I've done Prolon a lot of times, and it's a great program. It's a different type of program. This is more sustainable, I think, for most people. And it's super simple to incorporate regardless of what type of eating plan you follow. So, well, I'm really excited to hear about your results. And I know, so part of what we talked about last week, we talked about, changes in your gut microbiome. Well, this addresses that as well too. And some of the supplements that you're taking also incorporate really targeting the gut microbiome. Share a couple of what those are, just so our audience understands.
Yes. Actually, let me go get.
No, that's okay if you don't have them there. Just share what they are.
Okay.
And for.
Yeah, so there's 4 supplements that we're using in the program. And again, it's a 5-day program. So anybody can do 5 days of anything, right?
Mhm.
But it's 5 days, and if you're just following a whole schedule. And it's number one, probiotic. So probiotic helps with everything. I look at probiotic as like the gut microbiome. If that's not balanced, nothing else is gonna be balanced. So if you want to lose weight, start with your gut. If you want to reduce inflammation, start with your gut. I always point to the gut. So probiotic. The other one is digestive enzymes, which we're doing after a couple of meals, the bigger meals of the day. We're taking that. And then we're doing it's the greens, which I don't have it with me here, but it's the phyto greens. And that gives you like an extra boost in, the nutrients you need from veggies. So that helps with gut health as well. And then the fourth one is, what is it called, Sonia?
Trace,
Uh,
but the revitalized trace mineral.
Revitalize. Yes. Revitalize has Shilla. How do you say it?
Sheila Jeet.
Legit. It
Too
sounds like a
legit, too
song.
legit to quit. She's
Yeah,
too.
that's what I was thinking.
Just don't ask us to say that 10 times fast.
But it has trace minerals, which is really healthy too. So all of these 4 products help with the 4 things that I mentioned: the digestive bulk, the inflammation, the body fat, and excess water. So that's what they're doing. And again, it's so well planned. And everything has a reasoning behind it. So you don't want to really go off track of the plan if you want to see results.
So it's really backed by science. And I think it's just
Mhm.
so perfect for the
Yeah.
age group that we're talking about because we oftentimes feel stuck. We feel like, oh, am I ever going to get the scale to move? The things that I used to do, while they're still important, they just don't work like they used to. I
Mhm.
mean, if I tried to go do, 5 hours a week of CrossFit right now, I'd probably just gain weight, right? Because it's actual metabolic stress
Yeah.
on already changing hormones. And so when we look at the things that we're doing in this reset, it's really about this demographic of people and the things that they're struggling with. Oh, I love this. Okay, well, great transformation. I think, you know what? Let's do this. When we're done with this video, drop your before and after from what
Mhm.
you've gone through on your weight loss journey because it's pretty miraculous.
Oh,
And
sure.
for
Yeah.
somebody that is as healthy as you were to begin with,
Mhm.
to be able to take that to a whole new level and,
Yeah.
over the age of 40, that's pretty remarkable. And I just think it's very inspiring to share these stories.
And
Well,
by the way, with this 5-day drop, it's all about an eating plan. There's no exercise involved. I
right.
mean,
And you can certainly move, but,
well, this
no
is what I,
crazy
I always get
exercise.
from clients is that, they say they want to lose weight, and the first thing they're going to do is exercise, and they start exercising every day of the week to lose the weight. And really it's nutrition. Like 90% of weight loss is nutrition. Dial that in, and then add the exercise. The exercise has, I can talk forever about exercise. It has all kinds of benefits, but with weight loss, dial in that nutrition. The 5-day drop really helps with that because it gets rid of the cravings too. I
Mm.
didn't mention that, but the cravings, I don't crave anything. I'm really very like, I'm fine. Like I can eat whatever I need to eat for the next meal and I'm good to go. I feel satisfied.
I love that. Well,
Mhm.
thanks for sharing. What an inspiring story. So, let's talk a little bit about some other health solutions. And we may need to carry this into a second week because I feel like there's so much to unpack. But one of the things that really hit me hard was I would look in the mirror. And again, we're both very healthy people. We've always, eaten well. And being a dietitian, for those of you that don't know me, I am a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and certified diabetes educator. And Jeannie's an exercise physiologist. So we understand the stuff, right? But when you start to get a little older and you look in the mirror and you're like, you almost feel like you're losing control. Like, what just happened here, right? All I did was turn a few years older and it's like everything changed. And I started to feel a little less confident because I'd look in the mirror and I would see fine lines, wrinkles, like my hair was starting to thin, my nails were getting really brittle. All of a sudden it hurt to walk up the stairs. I'm like, what is going on? Well, naturally, I'm a human and I started looking for all kinds of tools that would help me age backwards naturally. And I think the first thing that women tend to do is we're like, okay, well, is it time for the Botox and the fillers and all those things, right? And I'm not putting those things down. For some people, it is your magic answer. For me, I live a very holistic lifestyle and I wanted to find solutions to help myself look and feel younger from the inside out because no magic skin cream. I mean, skin creams can be great, but they're the second in line, right?
Yeah.
No magic skin cream is going to address the problem with aging that's going on within. So, over the age of 30, really, we begin to decline in terms of our natural production of collagen, hyaluronic acid, and chondroitin sulfate. So when you think about that for a second, it's kind of like an anti-aging triangle. Collagen, hyaluronic acid, chondroitin sulfate. So you can use any one of those three things, but when you put them together, it's like instead of batting to first base, you just hit a home run.
Yeah.
And as I dove into the science of aging and what's going on, like why are all these things happening? I came to understand that over the age of 30, all these things are declining, which explains a lot of the symptoms that I'm seeing. A lot of the fine lines, wrinkles, dry skin. I felt like I had no glow. And I will drop my before and after picture in the comments here as well, because I think what you'll see is that, you can age backwards without having to do all those expensive things that perhaps could be toxic or cause damage to the body as well too. So I found a product called Liquid BioCell and I use the skin formula. There are a few different kinds. What's your favorite formula, Jeannie?
Skin.
I like
love
skin as
skin.
well.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
the Life as well, but skin is like, it's like my
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
I say, and it takes a lot for me as a dietitian to back any supplement. But this is literally the one thing I will get out of bed if I forget to take it. Like, period, end of story, because it literally has transformed my life. And it's not superficially just from the sort of appearance, but when you think about appearance, what does it give you? It gives you confidence. It gives you self-worth. You don't feel like, spoiled milk or yesterday's news. You feel like as good as you did when you were 10, 15, 20 years younger. And so I started using this product, and not only has it taken 10 years off of my face, which is mind blowing. Every time I look at my pictures, I'm like, did that really happen? Pictures
I
don't
think you
lie.
look amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. It takes 10 years off. It took 10 years off of my face, but it did much more than that. I have Epstein-Barr, so I'm always looking for ways to improve my immune system, my gut health, all of those things. And as we know, the gut is mission control for your immune system. And so what I didn't realize to the length or the depth that I understand now is that all of those things that I mentioned, particularly the collagen and hyaluronic acid, are very impactful for good gut health. Actually helps with the health of your gut lining. And hyaluronic acid actually can help with things like reflux. I mean, there's so many benefits beyond your hair, skin, and nails.
Yeah.
And so you can see the visible things, but the things that you can't see happening from within would be gut health, better joint health. So my joints no longer creak when I walk up and down the stairs. And my other half does CrossFit, and guys can get away with things, but usually I could hear him. I'd be in the back of the house and I could hear him walking up the stairs, and all of a sudden I would know he was coming. Right now, I don't know, it's a blessing and a curse, but I can't hear him coming up the stairs. He uses our sport formula, so his goals are very different, but nonetheless, he's into the anti-aging as well too, and it's really made a huge difference in his workouts and just everything. But anyway, I digress. Back to women, because we're the important, right? Guys are important too. If there's any guys watching, please take no offense. But it is also very beneficial for the health of your gums and other soft tissue within the body, your eye health. Literally, I could go on, because collagen is the most abundant protein in the body. It is literally the glue that holds us together. And so when you think about it, if that is all dropping as we get older, then we have all these problems or signs of aging. So, ladies over 40, let me help you out with a solution. If you are really just like at your wits' end with feeling like you're getting older, let's talk. I definitely would love to help you, or Jeannie, if you're in, Jeannie's audience somewhere, we can help you find solutions that you don't have to go to those drastic measures like getting those in your face, all those kinds of things. So I definitely love that product. And then the other thing I want to talk about before we kind of wrap up today and continue this conversation next week is really the volatility of your hormones. And we've kind of talked about that as it relates to weight loss, but women, as they get into their 40s, and everybody hits this at a different age. I mean, my mom didn't go through menopause until she was 56. So like, everybody hits it at a different age, but know that it's like this progression, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are people that get into perimenopause in their 30s, some people still having their cycles in their 50s. So wherever you are on that continuum, it's a gradual process, right? So one of the things that I did for myself was I had my hormones tested. I had a Dutch test done and I ran that on myself, and I could see that I was starting to develop. I mean, my progesterone was dropping a little, my testosterone was a little low, but the most important thing I found out was that I was a little bit on the estrogen dominant side. So that allowed me to really kind of get a bigger picture of what was going on in terms of my hormonal health. And now I use some supplements, and I know, Jeannie, you do too, to help sort of regulate those hormones naturally without having to take hormone therapy. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I take something called Ova-M, and so what it does is it helps to balance your hormones during perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. And all it is 2 capsules a day. What I will say is that if you're on a hormonal therapy, like, HRT, definitely talk to your doctor. I don't think you can take this while you're on the hormone therapy, but definitely have a conversation with your physician about that. But I'm not. So I decided to go, I like holistic approaches to things better before grabbing medications. And I know there's BHRT too, but I wanted to try this first. And I actually shared this with my physician, who's a functional medicine doctor, and I shared the ingredients with her, and she gave me the thumbs up. So yeah, I'm using this, and it helped me with reducing. I didn't have a lot of hot flashes, but I did have them sometimes, and it's really reduced those. I sleep like a baby at night. My issue with sleeping is going to sleep. It's not because once I'm asleep, I'm knocked out. But going to sleep, I could be tossing and turning for an hour before I fall asleep. This helps. And then it just overall, I just feel more clear-headed. My mood is very stable. I used to go from 0 to 10 like within an instant. And really, I thought that was kind of like part of my personality. And it really wasn't. It was just, menopause. And so
blame it on the hormones, right?
I know it was hormones. And so this really helped to calm. So I'm able to think through things rather than like jumping from, 0 to 10 real quick. So yes, I love it. And it's helped me. And of course, it's helped others that are using it right now. Are you using this too, Sonia?
I have tried, because I'm like, my cycles are just starting to get a little wonky. So I have tried both formulas. And so I'm like a guinea pig. So I have not gone through menopause yet. And most months I get a cycle and it's been fine. And the other formula that we have is called Ova. So that is Ova-M that Jeannie shared. We have kind of the sister product called Ova for women that still cycle. And it's 3 different formulas, so that at different points of your cycle, you take a different formula to address what's going on in that part of your cycle. And really what is impactful about that is if you think about all the things that women struggle with, PMS, bloating, cramping, mood swings, and some of that carries over into the menopausal years as well too, just maybe in a little different angle. But the nutrients that are in the supplement actually help to really target that part of your cycle and just sort of normalize things, so that instead of having a crazy, 5 to 7 days every month where you feel like, pardon my French, shit, you have the ability to feel a little bit more normal during that time. Because how many, and I forget all the statistics, we talked about it in a training, but like when you think about how many days in your whole lifespan you have a period, that's a lot.
Yes.
And then how much time you spend going through menopause, right? Because for some people, it could be like a 10-year journey, right? So like, guys, I'm sorry you have it much easier than we do. And so we need to, us ladies over 40, this is why supplements and things that are backed by true science, targeted supplementation, as we call it, they all have their place. They can make a huge difference, because you're not meant to suffer as you get older. You're not meant to like fall apart and then die, right? You're supposed to enjoy every stage of your life. And if we can do these things to help us sort of experience better, success with all of the things that we want to be successful with at every chapter of our life, or in every chapter of our life, that's what it's all about. That's winning, right? And so our whole goal with this series is to give you all of the tools that you need, the armor that you need to put on to help you win in life. Right. And so I think, Jeannie, this is going to continue into next week, because I have a lot more, and I'm sure you do as well. Like just different tips that we can share to help you, if you are a woman over 40, just navigate this, we'll call it challenging but exciting time. So anything you want to add on these things that we've talked about today before we kind of wrap up and circle back again next week?
No, I think this is a good way to end. We will definitely share our before and after pictures. Come back, take a look in the comments section, and take a look at our transformations.
Yes. And also, if you have any questions or interest in any of the things that we've talked about today, if we can help you on your journey, go ahead and either just drop a comment below, or certainly feel free to reach out or message either one of us. Again, we're live in a lot of different places. And if you saw some value in the information that we shared today and you want to share this with your network, we are live in public places, so you can go ahead and share this broadcast with those that you know and love in your life. So thanks for being with us, Jeannie. Awesome job as always. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.